Tonight, we honor those who serve and have served here at Akins Ford Arena. Will the Rock Lobsters give our nation's service members a snake-slicing show reminiscent of last season, or will the Moccasins make Athens its next victim? Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Military Appreciation Night here at the Tank. Tonight's matchup features a rivalry from last season, the Monroe Moccasins against your Athens Rock Lobsters. My name is Mateen Rad, and the Piedmont Athens Regional Pregame Show starts right here and right now. The rivalry between these two had much more to do with the physical battles on the ice than it did the scoreboard last season, as Athens defeated the Mocs 12 times in 13 games. However, it was the Snakes who laughed last, winning for the first time in the last time these two teams met back in March of last season. This is also a new-look Monroe squad that is one of the hottest teams in the Continental Division, winning their last 4 games in a row. The only team that's hotter than the Moccasins in this division are the red-hot Rock Lobsters, who remain the only undefeated team left in the FPHL. Garrett Rutledge's squad showed their resolve and resilience last Saturday night here in the Tank. Entering the third period down 2-1, the Cardiac Crustacean scored 4 unanswered goals in the final 20 minutes to take a 5-2 win against the Twin City Thunderbirds. And here come the Rock Lobsters in their special military appreciation jerseys. This Athens crowd will hope for a little bit more comfort tonight against a team that fans and players alike absolutely hate. We take a look at the tail of the tape, and while you can see the similarities in offensive firepower for these two teams, the difference in goals allowed per game is vast. The Rock Lobsters have the top power play and penalty kill in the league right now, and with the number of penalties the Moccasins take every game, Coach Rutledge will hope to use that to his advantage. Let's get a glimpse of tonight's engine starters brought to you by Akins Ford. We see the lines here, and the top line will get the first shift. A youngster and 2 veterans, Joe Mack, with a dynamic duo of Garrett Milan and Eric Neely. Also of note, Brandon Picard checks back into the lineup after being sidelined for the past couple of weeks. Behind them at the blue line will be Carter Shinkarik and Joe Kolatarsi. The Game 1 starter in the crease this season has been Carter McPhail. On the Piedmont injury report, we're still missing Dominic Dumas with a knock he took in Indiana. And if you're going to buy a new truck, why not deal with the biggest and best Ford dealership in the Peach State, Akins Ford. That does it for tonight's Piedmont Athens Regional Pregame Show. Piedmont, real change lives here. Just saw Eric Neely come out on the ice. The announcement today that his wife is expecting their second child. Perhaps it can continue to be a special day for Eric Neely, who's combined so well with Garrett Milan to start this season. A combination of just good chemistry and veteran partnership between Milan and Neely. But there's the man of the hour right now, Carter McPhail, who currently leads the FPHL in save percentage, goals against average, and shutouts, logging his second shutout in his first 3 pro games. Last Friday, 29 saves against the Twin City Thunderbirds. Head coach Garrett Rutledge having a perfect start here in his tenure as head coach of the Athens Rock Lobsters. UGA Army ROTC presenting the colors on a very special night here at Military Appreciation Night.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask you to remain standing as we honor
A loud, loud crowd here in the tank tonight who have packed out in part for Military Appreciation Night, but also to see the rekindling of a fiery rivalry between the Monroe Moccasins and the Athens Rock Lobsters. Got a couple of ceremonial puck drops tonight. On behalf of Stanfield Air Systems, who have brought us Military Appreciation Night tonight, Rex and Nathan with Stanfield will drop the first ceremonial puck. Right out in front of the carpet there, the two captains for these squads. Frank Schumacher for the Moccasins in the all-black. Carter Shinkarik in that fine, fine-looking military jersey with a C right over his heart.
Once again, welcome Rex and Nathan with Stanfield Air Systems, Athens and Northeast Georgia's favorite HVAC company.
Looks like they needed to locate Rex and Nathan, but here they come out on the ice.
Here's Rex and Nathan.
Puck drop number one. One of 5 here tonight as we have some brave former service members joining us here at Akins Ford Arena tonight. An Army Ranger, part of the 1st Battalion, part of the 121st Infantry Regiment, Georgia National Guard. It's Captain Jared Pate. Coming up next is a former company commander with the Atlanta Recruiting Battalion. Our public announcer, Joe Dennis, announcing the arrival of Captain Sandra Ruiz. Can't speak enough about the bravery that those who serve in our country's military possess. A night that always evokes emotions, always makes you think of a family member who served, a friend who served, and often enough someone who's lost their life fighting for this country.
All right, next up, please welcome to the ice Petty Officer 2nd Class, Mike Pennigy. Mike Pennigy is a proud U.S. Navy submariner serving our nation.
Mike Pennigy, having served in the U.S. Navy as a submariner, a Petty Officer 2nd Class. And last but certainly not least, Assistant Equipment Manager David Arnold, a veteran of the Iraq War. Thank you to David, and thank you to all of our guests tonight who have served this beautiful country. It's because of people like these that we get to sit here and play hockey tonight. Taking a look up at the scoreboard real quick, it looks like the Rock Lobsters will start with a power play here. And the only reason I can think of that is that the Monroe Moccasins were potentially late getting off the ice. A special message of let's play hockey from Jordan Culver Jr. And indeed, it will be a power play that starts this game. You see it every now and then, the Monroe Moccasins possibly being late getting off the ice. And this game will start 5-on-4. And for those of you that are familiar with this rivalry, the early goal is definitely something you have to watch out for. A matter of seconds in the first ever meeting between these two teams to start the Rock Lobsters season last year. Garrett Milan scored the first ever goal for this franchise. like there might be an equipment issue. There's someone, I believe, helping with the snow that's accumulated from the carpet right out there in the corner where our puck drop guests come out. Rock Lobsters starting the night with the Paloma Park power play. We know it is the quadruple P. If the Rock Lobsters score on the Paloma Park power play, fans can unlock $3 tacos at Paloma Park for 24 hours through the FanSaves app. Was already a delay in the puck drop tonight with the UGA Ice Dogs game going long. Unfortunately, the Ice Dogs falling to Michigan State in a shootout. No issue adding a couple more minutes as they solve this snow issue out in the corner of the rink. Serving the penalty of the 2 minutes for the delay of game will be Jared Christie. Not the way he wanted to start what is his first game as a Moccasin. 27-year-old out of Cypress, California. So it looks like, with the power play being how the Athens Rock Lobsters start this game, our starters, in fact, have changed. McPhail obviously still in net, but it looks like Joe Mack, Kason Gallant, Philip Virgili, Garrett Milan, and Carter Shinkarik out there. Could be Gallant just out in front of the bench because it has been Eric Neely who's been on that first unit. Guys trying to keep their leg fresh. Alita Mosquito asking, is there anywhere online to see the Ice Dogs play? Yes, they actually broadcast their games on YouTube as well. Meanwhile, there's becoming more and more places that you can watch the Rock Lobsters play. Tomorrow at 4:05, you can catch us on the Peachtree Sports Network. Gallant, Milan, Virgili, Shinkarik, and Mack. This game is underway, and it's underway with a quadruple P. Athens right now with the #1 power play in the FPHL. Gallant. Back to the line for Shinkarik. Milan tries to one-time the pass through the skates of a Moccasin. And it'll just be easily dumped in by Casey Gerstein, one of the new faces for this Moccasin team. Out to the left, sent in by Shinkarik. All the way around through the end boards for Milan. Virgili gets the reception there from Gallant. Milan trying to poke it ahead through the Swede. Nice job by Mack to get that loose. He was looking for the tip out in front. Gallant tried to find him out in front of the crease. Milan thinks about the shot. Instead, sends a wrister to Perrant in the right circle. Another new snake face we see this season, Richie Perrant. His rookie season last year with the Mississippi Seawolves had a 4-10 record. Interestingly enough, his father, Rich, was a goalie with 32 games of NHL experience with the Blues, the Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Pittsburgh Penguins. About half of this Athens power play gone. Just one shot on net. Kolatarsi in this second power play unit, which is joined by Neely. Kolatarsi, ripper from the right side, in and out of the glove of Perrant. Van Durken on the right side couldn't stick it into the back of the net. Glukarioff with the initial shot that ricocheted off of Richie. Eric Neely behind the net. Croucher looking for the cross crease pass. Glukarioff had it run under the blade of his stick. Is there one last rush in this game-opening power play for the Rock Lobsters? 20 seconds left. A little bit of knee on knee there as Neely was brought down to the ice. Really good start to this penalty kill for the Moccasins, which ranks 5th in the league. 86.5% of penalties killed thus far this season. Both teams back at even strength. Brandon Picard in his first game back after missing a couple weeks lays a big hit into the glass. Little backhand flip. Virgili to Gallant gets cut out by Sam Turner. Shot off the pads of McPhail. Tucker Scantleberry, who's a new addition from the Port Huron Prowlers, with the first shot on goal for the Moccasins in this matchup. Far dump in. Sloppy there from Schumacher. Matt gets the pass off to Milan. Slapper came from the line. Kolatarsi, whose father is in attendance tonight, temporarily able to keep that one in with a shove on Austin Albrecht from behind. Albrecht, the leading scorer for this Moccasin team. 8 goals, 8 assists. We are starting to see the physicality of this rivalry again, but looking for a centering pass there was Andrew Ballant. Gets cut out by a good defensive stick from the Crustaceans. Glukaryov, centering pass, never made it to Super Milan. Glukaryov on the forecheck, trying to poke it away from Corson Green. Neely with a great little deke, sends a Moccasin into the boards, trying to take it all the way. Neely showing the level of a former AHLer, trying to take it coast to coast. Banked in, McPhail, always athletic in the trapezoid behind his net. Linesman said that Croucher didn't hold his run at the blue line, and Van Durken took it over. Rock Lobsters whistled for offsides. Little more than 4 minutes gone. Shots on goal slightly in favor of Athens and 2-1. Moccasins on a 4-game winning streak to start this season. Athens looking to stay undefeated, currently 6-0. Sam Turner, an experienced D-man. Liriakos gives it away to Van Durken. Right circle shot, Glukaryov. Great save by Perron. Perron chooses not to freeze. Croucher loses sight of it. Glukaryov is there to take it away. Croucher found, bats it out of midair, stays on his feet. Croucher looking for someone out in front. What a save by Perron, who deprives Van Durken from his 4th straight goal on home ice. This is reminiscent of what we saw last year. Can the referees control this game in the early going? Someone's already shed their gloves. Glukaryov against Casey Gerstein. Glukaryov with a double leg takedown. A clean fight there from Glukaryov, who decides not to punch at Gerstein. Gerstein trying to plead his case that it shouldn't be even penalty minutes for the two. Glukaryov with a hero's welcome to the penalty box after he sheds the claws. Another look at that tremendous save. Van Durken was right out in front of Richie Perron's net. Glove save for the 26-year-old. Things heated up quickly between Glukaryov and Casey Gerstein. And Glukaryov looking like Khabib Nurmagomedov there. The double leg takedown. And it looks like Shinkarik and Schumacher can laugh about it now. We saw a couple fights for Danil Glukaryov last season. You never want to mess with a Russian. More of a skilled player, but Glukaryov more than able to handle himself when the going gets tough. And you could hear just how raucous this Rock Lobster crowd is here tonight. I think potentially the most filled we've seen this building this season. Our off-ice official at the center ice, Paul there, getting explained to him by one of the officials. We'll see if both teams skate evenly here. Despite the power play, the best chances for the Rock Lobsters came on that shift from Croucher, Van Durken, and Glukaryov. Garrett Rutledge behind the bench. his first experience taking part in this rivalry between the Monroe Moccasins and the Athens Rock Lobsters. Athens needs to be careful not to take this Monroe team lightly. They're a much improved squad from last season, a lot more firepower in their forward lines. But they need to be careful not to play the Monroe Moccasin game either. Amazing if you look at the depth chart. Croucher, Glukaryov, and Van Durken, who's been one of the best lines in the FPHL and for the Athens Rock Lobster team this season. Looks like we're going to skate 5 apiece here. But on the depth chart, the line of Van Durken, Croucher, and Glukaryov is technically the third line. Mack getting pressed in behind by Rasmus Asp. Carlos Forneris looking for a cutting-edge pass right into the center of the ice for Tanner Coleman. McPhail thinks about playmaking in the crease, as he so often does, but instead decides to freeze. Taking a look here at the FPHL website, I'm not sure if it's accurate. Daniil Glukaryov assessed with 17 minutes of penalties. I'm not sure where Gerstein was assessed there. That may take some time to load on the FPHL website side. No doubt 5 skaters apiece for these two teams, as we're exactly 5 minutes through the first period. Shinkarik hasn't lost a step beside that late season injury. Just missing wide there was Kyler Matthews. Puck pinballing all around. Shot comes from the left circle, and Monroe scores. He's been the leading playmaker for this Monroe team this season, but Carlos Forneris, 11 assists to his name. He's got goal number 3 on the season. We take another look here. Chaos in front of the crease. Looks like we won't get a good look at that because it's time to redrop the puck. Athens, no stranger to playing from behind here at Akins Ford Arena. Lifted in by Brandon Picard. Philip Virgili, close range shot, stopped by Perron. Penalties getting announced here. Roughing and fighting for Gerstein and Glukaryov. Virgili tries to whip a shot off the backside of Perron. Won't go. Glukaryov also getting assessed a misconduct, a 10-minute misconduct for continuing an altercation. It'll be a while till we see Glukaryov. Great pass out in front. It's 2. McPhail coming off of that shutout, and the Moccasins doing what the Thunderbirds couldn't do last weekend against the Rock Lobsters, and that's put one past Carter McPhail. And it's actually Jared Christie who is playing in his first game as a Monroe Moccasin. Athens down 2-0 here early. Rock Lobsters needing to find their gear, needing to find their level. Can't clear the zone here. Christie, who just scored. Neat little pass out in front to the low slot. Van Durken, wicked wrister from a far way out. Croucher, as he so often does, uses his speed to get behind the net and cause havoc on the forecheck. Here's Christie again, trying to return it to Tucker Scantleberry. Trying to carve out a little give and go there. Self-inflicted wound there by the Moccasins as they send it out of the offensive zone. Forneris and Christie less than a minute apart. Athens down 2-0. Still plenty of game left. Milan tries to bounce it to himself. Milan lays the body on the much taller Asp off the skate of Neely. Kolatarski collects off the far side boards. Neely in the left circle. Looking for a route, sends it back to Shinkarik. Someone's lost their stick here. Rock Lobsters are going to go back to the power play. Now it's through, it's all the way through. Perrant down crisscross applesauce in the crease. The wrecking ball gets one back for the Athens Rock Lobsters. And one important one it was. Athens was going to go back to the Paloma Park power play. Neely had collided there with Perron. They might have to take a look at this one. We saw Neely and Perron there both in the crease. We'll see if this goal is going to count for Greco and the Rock Lobsters. Right now there's a 1 on the board here in the arena. We saw the replay where Neely and Perron were both down in the crease. What we didn't see was how Neely got there. If he's shoved from behind into the crease, then that is a goal that will count for the Rock Lobsters. Rock Lobster ringing out here. Looks like puck drop will take place at center ice. Looks like that goal's going to count. Michael Greco with his second of the year. .753 the mark for Greco. Little tip out in front. Jesse Lowell, the 10th forward tonight. Shinkarik, the lone assist. Michael Greco, there he is, the wrecking ball, doing what we know him for, then takes a push up high. Rock Lobsters, are they going back to the power play here? Looks like that's the case as Perron will touch the biscuit. The Monroe Moccasins with a glittering start to this game, but they're starting to get into their own way. You see, it looked like a cross check up high there against Greco. We'll go to a commercial break. Rock Lobsters were down 2-0, but they're starting their fight back. Stay tuned here on the Athens Rock Lobster Network.
As a hockey player, my health is everything to me. When I got injured,
I didn't just worry about missing games. I worried about my future in the sport I love. From the moment I met you and your team at Piedmont Athens Regional, you gave me confidence. Your expertise, your care, your support, it all reassured me from the very start. Because of you, I've been able to recover, rebuild, and get back to playing the sport I love. Can't thank you enough for what you've done for me and my future. Your help means the world to me, and I'll always be grateful for your part in keeping my dream alive. Thanks to Dr. Graff and Piedmont Athens Regional, I get to keep playing the game I love.
In games between these two teams last season, the Monroe Moccasins tended to get in their own way, give up penalties that gave Athens a route back into the game. Are we seeing that here? Because the Rock Lobsters had the man advantage on the delayed penalty when Michael Greco put it through the 5-hole of Richie Perron as he was sitting crisscross applesauce in the crease. And now the Rock Lobsters are back to the Paloma Park power play. Forneris with a cross-check into the face of Greco. Athens had the power play to start this game, but didn't have much opportunity on a good penalty kill from the Moccasins. Fortunate bounce for Athens. Trying to backhand it out of the zone was Kyler Matthews. Gallant looking for a tip out in front. Joe Mack was waiting at the back door. Look at the athleticism there from Carter McPhail, who stops that puck in the corner. Milan, like a coiled spring. Mack looking for that top shelf from the tight angle. Minute to go. Gallant. Triangulation here. Milan misses the left side of the net. Mack out in front. Virgili couldn't complete the backhand sweep through the 5-hole of Perron. Still about 53 seconds to go on the Forneris cross-checking penalty. Already action-packed here at Akins Ford Arena. A 2-1 game. Rock Lobsters were down 2-0. Neely. Croucher. Second power play unit for the Rock Lobsters. Picard stops it with a backhand. Back to Colatarsi. Who wants to impress with his father and his family in the audience tonight. Slight whiff from Neely. Croucher. Neely! Nice little dance to the crease. Perron. 2 or 3 tremendous saves there for the French Canadian. We go to another commercial break. It's the under 10-minute timeout. This one's really starting to heat up here in the tank. You're not going to want to miss what remains here between the Moccasins and the Rock Lobsters.
Rock Lobster fans, this is Brad Akins. Akins Ford has led the way for years and keeps on growing. From offering the Southeast's largest inventory to being #1 in the nation in Ford truck sales, we're here to serve you. Want to customize your ride? Our Wild Willie's accessories team can make it as unique as you are. Make it legendary. Need service? Our fleet of over a dozen mobile service vans come right to you. Akins Ford and Winder. We really are closer and bigger than you think. Rock Lobsters, let's go.
Rock Lobsters with yet another power play in this game. Still haven't found their scoring touch on the man advantage. Looks like Rutledge will keep out this second unit. Actually sending Milan out on this second unit. It's Neely, Croucher, Milan, Van Durken, and Colatarsi. Neely loses it but falls to Milan. Croucher pushes it to Neely. Little 1-2, oh my goodness gracious! Luke Croucher remains a game changer for the Rock Lobsters. Gets himself in a dangerous spot right in front of Perron. Ricochet with the backhand. Let's take another look. Neely from the corner. He's so dangerous with that kind of pass. It looks like Croucher lets the momentum of that puck do the talking, just hits hard off the toe of the blade of his stick. Creative backhand for the rookie. Does he have his sights on the FPHL Rookie of the Year award? We'll see. Paloma Park power play goal, earning fans $3 tacos through the FanSaves app at Paloma Park. The Rock Lobsters ensuring that they weren't shell-shocked at the start of this game have tied it up with 2 unanswered goals. Schumacher is out from the bench to talk to Perron. I think Schumacher wanting to know if there was any shenanigans that he could potentially make a formal complaint to the officials about. Akins Ford Arena once again brought to its feet after the game-tying goal from Luke Croucher, his 5th of the year, point number 13 on the season. Discussion on both benches from the officials. Whatever the discussion is, it doesn't result in anything. Rock Lobsters win the faceoff. Great to see the return of the ice pick, Brandon Picard. Virgili getting tied up with his fellow countryman, Rasmus Asp, icing against the Moccasins. Croucher from Neely and Milan. That'll increase Milan's team leading point tally to 14. Offensive zone draw here in enemy territory. Milan and Mack got a touch. Hard off the end boards from Neely. Milan to Mack, back to Milan. That one takes a deflection and goes into the seats. What a tremendous crowd here at Akins Ford Arena. Tomorrow afternoon is a special one here at the Tank. Faith and Family Night, a special 4:05 matinee puck drop. And it also is the first time you could catch us on the Peachtree Sports Network. Once again, that's a 4:05 puck drop. Show will start at 4 o'clock. Shinkarik, just knowing that Kolatarsi was there. Kolatarsi can't find Mack. Another wicked shot from Christie. Scored his first goal as a Moccasin to make it 2-0 earlier on in this period. 21 games last year for the Birmingham Bulls. Also has a couple games of ECHL experience with the Iowa Heartlanders. Forneris opened the scoring in this matchup. Just a very neat and tidy line. A rookie and 2 veterans, Mack, Milan, and Neely. Give away from the Rock Lobsters. Rasmus Asp trying to shake himself free, but from the high slot, he can't send a shot that troubles McPhail. Two-2 game, but the Rock Lobsters with double the tally on shots on net. You could add one to that tally for Monroe. It's now 7 in comparison to Athens' 12. Athens calm after the defensive zone face-off win. Both teams looking for an opening here. Kolatarsi got the initial poke away there from Austin Albrecht, who on paper is the most dangerous Moccasin forward. Coming off of a 4-goal performance last Saturday against Biloxi. Andrew Ballant stopped by McPhail. Comes all the way out for Sam Turner, veteran D-man. Finds a window to shoot one into. Almost got taken away from him by Neely. I think Neely's going to get called for a hook here. Won't be Neely, it'll be Kolatarsi, who will sit for 2. Hook is the call, and now the Moccasins have a chance to go on their first power play of the night. Athens on the Leslie Jones Law penalty kill, strong, skilled, strategic defense. That's what Athens will need. That's what they've had this season, and that's also what Leslie Jones provides you. Taking a look at the power play numbers for the Moccasins, 4 for 27 on the year. That's a clip of 14.8%, ranking 8th out of 14 teams in the FPHL. Athens can't get it out of the zone. Schumacher has a pass to the left. Sam Turner, right side of the blue line, back to Schumacher. Doesn't field it cleanly. E27 there on Schumacher. Turner gathering speed through the trapezoid. Croucher leading the forecheck on this PK. Offside going against Monroe. Moccasins still on the search for their venom on the man advantage. They've already found the back of the net twice on even strength play. I want to thank all of you for tuning in tonight, whether it be on YouTube or Sporfy. If you're on YouTube, or if you haven't already, make sure you like the stream, subscribe to play a part of our world-famous chat, and ring the bell to stay notified of all future Rock Lobster content. Better puck movement here from the Moccasins. Pops up. I think that's a hand pass going against Monroe. That'll take the face-off to the neutral zone. Officials in consultation with one another here. Carter and Carrick skating slowly to the penalty box here. Not sure what this long conversation between these two officials is all about. Still about 7 minutes in the first period. Schumacher looking like the most animated captain of the two right now. 2 goals from Monroe separated by a minute. 5:12, Carlos Forneris opened the scoring. Less than a minute later, Jared Christie scored his first as a Moccasin. And 2 unanswered goals from Athens tied it up. Michael Greco, the wrecking ball. Rock Lobsters had the man up. Neely and Richie Perron collided in the net. Got sent through the 5-hole of Perron by Greco. And then Luke Croucher, who has had an amazing start to his pro hockey career as a rookie. Pinballs around some bodies. Neely says it takes a deflection. Officials agree. 6:36 remaining in the first period. 46 seconds on this Leslie Jones Law penalty kill. Ballant makes way for Forneris. Forneris wins the draw. Corson Green. Moccasins behind McPhail's net. Shot came right behind the circle from Ballant. Coming off a 5-point performance against Biloxi. A goal and 4 assists. Second bite of the cherry still tastes sour for Ballant. Monroe power play. Eking to an end. A great puck movement, trying to wrap it around out in front where the Moccasins. Great little poke from Neely. Kolatarsi fresh out of the box. And it looks like the Rock Lobsters are going right back to the PK. I think Neely called for the hook there. Not sure about that one. Not sure if we'll get another look either. Neely gets hooked for the hook, and he'll sit for 2. Was a golden opportunity for the Rock Lobsters to take their first lead of this game. A 2-on-1 with Kolatarsi, who had fresh legs coming out of the penalty box. Athens right back to the Leslie Jones Law penalty kill. Repeat offenders in quick succession. Five of the last 7 shots in this game have belonged to Monroe. Is it their time to shine on the power play? A lot of traffic out in front, but the shot will head right into that traffic. A snapshot there from Sam Turner. Will stay in Snake's possession. Turner again. On the reload, Schumacher. Quarterbacking the point. McPhail doesn't know where it is. Backhanded to his direction. Slapper, Schumacher, blocked by Croucher. A multi-2 athlete is Croucher. Greco takes the body, then the puck. Can't clear his ice. Schumacher keeps it in enemy territory. Yanni Liriakos, first time we've said his name today. A former FPHL Forward of the Year. Looking for the tip out in front. Scantleberry. Trying to redirect Schumacher. Gonna have to be a stoppage in play as the corner gate comes open here at Akins Ford Arena. Still about 50 seconds left on this Monroe power play. Watch out if you're over there in that corner. We go to another commercial break here. Monroe still on the power play after this quick break.
At Athens Stonecasting, Don Hill oversees acres of sculptures poured from thousands of molds. Endless possibilities for neighbors who envision unique gardens. Craig Meeks at First American Bank and Trust caught that vision. Together, Don and Craig create solutions that keep the business teeming with new gifts for the garden. Vision. It's one of the core convictions we live by. Learn more about what we stand for at firstamericanishere.com. First American Bank and Trust.
Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon your toilet will clog again.
What if it won't flush?
We'll always repair it.
Nobody puts baby in a flooded corner.
Maybe I should still fix it.
You had me at hello. We've got same-day service.
Plumbing completes me.
Rock Lobsters in their fatigues tonight, if you will, here on Military Appreciation Night at Akins Ford Arena. We've seen already several momentum shifts in this game, and it's so often the case. A lot of that is because of the special teams. Both teams giving each other chances to take that momentum in their favor based on penalties taken. Last two have belonged to the Rock Lobsters. Quick little move before he was confronted there by Forneris. Off the skate, regathered. Corson Green. Green again. Loose touch of the puck. Jesse Lowell, 10th forward tonight, can't take it with him. Good pass to find Green, who in return sweeps it out right. Shot came there from Forneris. Rock Lobsters back, skating 5 apiece with Monroe. Final 3.5 minutes. Neely coming off of that hooking penalty. Darik Dubé-Plouffe to his captain Schumacher. Dubé-Plouffe with some ECHL experience with his hometown team, the Trois-Rivières Lions. Let's go Lobsters. Ringing out around the tank. Rock Lobsters will go to the power play. Gallant gets tripped up. At 2:54 to go, the Rock Lobsters back to the quadruple P. Loud Akins Ford Arena crowd tonight. Yet another penalty in this game. That's already penalty entry number 10 on the FPHL website. Gallant getting shifted in on this first power play unit. My guess is that Eric Neely, who was originally on this first unit, was shifted down to power play unit 2 by Garrett Rutledge to just make it a little bit more balanced, add some more experience to that second unit. Virgili, Milan, Gallant, Mack, and Shinkarik. A deep understanding between Milan, Shinkarik, and Virgili. Gallant still a few games since coming back. Joe Mack, new to this level, but doesn't look a stranger to it. Giveaway, 2-on-1 developing for Monroe. Tick, tack, doesn't go to toes, saved by McPhail. Numbers committed forward by Monroe. What can Athens do going east to west? Shot from Shinkarik, saved by Perron. One back by Virgili. Milan in the corner, to the line. Shinkarik to Gallant. Shinkarik with a slapper. Somehow that's swallowed up by the gear of Perron. Really exciting start in the first 41 seconds of this power play. Already power play number 3 for the Rock Lobsters. Even though they scored via Michael Greco with a man advantage, they had the extra skater as they were heading to the power play at that point. Second unit on, but Milan has stayed. Can't find Van Durken in the slot. Neely out of the corner. Has Kolatarsi at the blue line. Milan with a ripper, breaks his stick. Croucher. Van Durken out in front. Richie Perron has made some tremendous saves already in the first period. He's faced 16 shots in the first 20 minutes. Three-fourths of a minute to go on the man advantage. Athens has to reload in the neutral zone. The remains of Milan's stick still on the ice. Game of keep away for Neely. It looks like a game so often, like a children's game for Neely. Mack with speed, backhand sweeper. Neely looking to try and follow it up. It doesn't go. Rock Lobsters coming into this game with a top power play unit in the FPHL. It's been stifled thus far by the Snakes. Gallant kicks it to the line. Shinkarik puts the scope on. Sends a pass to Mack on the right side. Milan drifting. Mack, beautiful passing. Back to Mack, falls to Shinkarik, who has to get on his horse. Moccasins decide to just jump in, and they're now back at even strength. Look at the skating from Shinkarik. Loses a handle, falls back down on the blade of his stick. Virgili, beautiful backhand pass, never reached Mack. Still just one defenseman on the ice. Glove save, McPhail watched it the whole way. The Moccasins have gotten in some tremendous shooting positions in this game, but since letting in the 2 early goals, McPhail is locked in since then. About 30 and a half seconds remaining. A lot of shots in this first period for both teams. Danger there. I think McPhail got a piece. Sent it hard into the side netting. Van Durken can't get it into neutral ice. Moccasins trying to create danger in the final seconds of the first. McPhail able to keep that one in between the quads. Leading scorer for the Moccasins, Austin Albrecht, with a golden opportunity to take the lead back. Albrecht, with more than 100 games of ECHL experience, had 64 points in that time. It's a very, very strong 3 lines for the Moccasins. Much stronger than last season. Is there one more shot here for the Mocs? Seems unlikely as the offside is committed. Likely to be only time for one more face-off in this first period, but what an action-packed 20 minutes to start this game. It's had goals for fans of both sides. It's had fights, and it ends the first period with a tied scoreline at 2-2. First game for Garrett Rutledge in this rivalry between the Moccasins and the Athens Rock Lobsters. There was a point in our conversation in which I asked if he was aware about this rivalry. You could hear what he has to say here on our Coach's Corner segment, always during the first intermission.
How's it going, Crustacean Nation? Welcome back to Coach's Corner on the Athens Rock Lobster Network. It gives fans like you an inside look to the games and goings-on for the team. As of recording, the team is 6-0, leads the Continental Division, and they're the only undefeated team remaining in the FPHL. As always, I'm your host, Mattine Rad, and I'm joined by Rock Lobster head coach Garrett Rutledge. Coach, 2 games with somewhat similar scorelines, but very different storylines. Game 1, we struck 3 times in the first period and never really looked back. We'll take a look at some of the individual performances there, but it feels like we have to start with Carter McPhail, who kept his second shutout in 3 games. His body language reads to me as just someone who is so confident in the crease right now. I'm sure you see it on the ice. Has that been something that you've been seeing off the ice as well?
Yeah, he's an amazing human. He's a great teammate for our players. He's been an exceptional pickup for the Rock Lobsters. Every time he's in the net, he's very much in tune with the team. He cheers the guys on. Even media timeouts, he's over there just providing like that extra little oomph, I guess, to make sure the guys know that we're dialed in and everybody's behind him and keep going and keep grinding. And he's kind of one of those faces and that voice that you hear on the ice that you know, he's got the team's back when we need him most. And when something breaks down, he's back there for us. He makes a big stop for us when we need it.
You and Coach Kyle have both coached goalies before, but aren't out and out goalie coaches. I wanted to know how you approach coaching a goaltender and what that might look like from your perspective.
Well, I like a goalie in the Federal Hockey League to be explosive and a guy that likes to challenge in battles around the net. What I mean by battles and second and third pucks, he's very side to side. He's not afraid to come out and make a play and challenge a shooter to beat him and stuff. Some of the goalies that are like kind of lethargic a little bit, that kind of play off their angles, that are just like to the post, middle, over to the next side, making saves, which that's fine. Higher levels, that's where a lot of shots come from. But the Federal Hockey League, you get those second and third chances. You got to have a goalie that likes to battle in that crease and swallows those pucks up.
On the offensive side of things, what stuck out to me in Friday night's game was that the passes that set the goals up were the highlight of every goal, not the goal themselves, the passes that set them up. You have fostered in the early stage of this season a great chemistry off the ice. Do you feel that you see the products of that chemistry on the ice as well?
Yeah, I feel like no one on our team cares who scores the goal. I think they're all in it together, and I think that's credit to our players and how close they are and how much they love coming to work, I guess, every day. We do a lot in practice, and I tell them all the time the small details into this drill and stuff that we're working on will bring you those highlight reel tap-in goals kind of thing if we do it properly and we work at it. So credit to our guys. They've stayed the course since the beginning of training camp, basically, and put that into their game and into their skills and details when they're watching video and we're doing things on the ice. Then it obviously transpires onto the ice, scoring goals. And like I said, it just becomes a habit for us.
Speaking of chemistry, the partnership of Garrett Milan and Eric Neely just continues to impress and impress. But how much of that partnership is about two guys that are really gelling with each other, that have that kind of chemistry? And how much of it is those are just two really good hockey players?
Listen, they're two leaders. They played a lot of hockey games at a very high level. They're selfless hockey players. Like, they're on the bench, they're coaching, they coach through how they play. They also are not afraid to tell a young guy or anybody what's going on or what they should have done there, or like, and what I mean by that, it's not like yelling and screaming. It's just in a positive way, or like ideas of what works, and putting those two together is, again, when we need a shift or something, to a little pushback, those two guys are usually the ones rolling over the boards there, and you can see them take over shifts at times, and then obviously scoring some big goals for us, making plays.
We saw a great disparity between the Rock Lobsters and the Thunderbirds in terms of both teams' special teams. Nothing highlighted that more in game one, when it felt like there were pathways for Twin City back in that game with a couple of 5-on-3 power plays, and still they couldn't find the back of the net. I think journalists and guys like me ask coaches these kinds of questions, even though the answer is never black and white, it's never cut and dry. But I'll ask anyway, do you feel like those moments had more to do with how sharp we were on the PK, or with how flat and sometimes dejected it felt like the Twin City team was?
I feel like our group gets up for moments like that. I think it's a big point in the hockey game. I think that was the message on the bench too. Like, this is a big turning point in the game. We need to shut things down right now. And I think our guys are up for a challenge. Like, I think they like a bit of a challenge. They like to go down a little bit and play the kind of the villain role a little bit on the PK, you might say. So with that being said, I know when you only got three guys out there and they're doing such a great job filling lanes and blocking shots and putting their heart on the sleeve for the Rock Lobsters. And obviously Carter McPhail is one of our best penalty killers, and William Lavalier, your goalie, has to be our best penalty killers. So obviously you see that, and then you can see the momentum turn when we get a few big kills like that. Again, back to McPhail on those plays. You see a couple shots, he makes saves, or a rebound comes up, he puts it up over the glass into the netting there, and then we can get a line change. So it's little things like that where his experience has paid dividends for us killing penalties and stuff. As long as he can see it, he's going to stop it. or give us a good opportunity to. So, and again, our guys stay tight in that house, and they believe in each other, and they know they're going to make plays. So it's awesome to see.
We moved to the game 2 on Saturday, and man, it just felt like it was a game of 3 completely different periods. You've got an extremely competitive first period, maybe the most competitive of the 9 that we've played against them so far. We outshot them in the second period, but I still felt like it was clear that we needed an extra gear in the third. And boy, I mean, did we find it? Outshot them 25-5 in the third period. Was there anything memorable said by you or any of the leaders in the locker room during the second intermission?
My message was clear. We just needed more second and third pucks on net. I thought we were kind of a little bit just like, I don't know, sleepy at times, one and done, kind of no interior in the O-zone, no getting the second rebound, kind of hard on pucks, making it hard for Carolina. We kind of played into their game plan for a little bit of whether they're playing a trap mentality or a little bit of a sleepy game per se. And then once we finally figured out just getting pucks down the bottom third of the O-zone and start grinding some shifts on the Twin City there was kind of our game plan. And once we got into the game there and started to figure out a bit, we didn't play a bad game. I thought we played well. I thought the boys, again, I thought they executed pretty well. Just things weren't going in the net. We were kind of on the perimeter, and Skinner was seeing a lot of shots. But once we finally got in the interior and cracked through, we opened the floodgates for some goals.
We talked a little bit earlier about the duality of the special teams between Twin City and Athens, and it showed once again in the third period of Saturday's game when the Thunderbirds just started to take, honestly, some puzzling penalties. First, I want to ask you, when Gleb Van Durken gets sent face first into the glass, did that feel like a rallying point and a turning point for the team in the third at all?
Yeah, it's kind of one of those plays. Gleb's a high-end player. He gets hit pretty hard. Like, again, it's credit to Gleb. Like, players like him that have that skill set are willing to put themselves out there to take a hit to score a goal kind of thing. But at the end of the day, I always tell the guys, you got to hit the score kind of. So it's one of those unfortunate penalties for Twin City at a bad time of the game kind of thing, down in your zone. That's kind of unnecessary. If I'm being honest, like, again, should have Carter. It was Carter, right? Don Carter, I think.
No, I think it was Super Smith.
Smith comes in. Instead of probably taking it back now, maybe you just angle Gleb off, put him in the boards, get him pinned up, then get a battle going, right? Instead, he chooses to go for the big hit and then ends up getting a penalty, and then the ball starts rolling. It just goes to show you how fast you can lose a hockey game on a decision. So these are little things that, again, Mateen, that I've told you throughout playoffs, that when we get to playoff time, this is where you got to hit the score. You've got to, these small little decisions in the game, you got to be able to control your emotions and know what you're doing out there, because, again, it can end up in the back of your net real quick and you can be chasing the puck quick.
After that play, Gleb is slow to get back up to his feet. He ends up back in the game and on a different power play, gets the game-winning goal 4 minutes later. I know a magician never reveals his secrets, but how in the world did we pull off that trade for him? I mean, he seems like such a slam dunk profile to land here, and he's shown every bit of that since coming in.
Hey, it was fortunate for us. I got the call. I seen his numbers from last year, did a few phone calls on him and heard he was an amazing kid. He's like, Gleb's kind of quiet, just quietly goes about his business. So credit to him, be able to make a play, and then obviously getting the winning goal. It's one of those things, you take a hit, make a play kind of thing. And I don't know, we're glad to have him. And like I said, however it worked out from Danbury, and it's a pleasure having him. And obviously the connection him and Croucher and Danny have had together has been fun to watch.
Yeah, speaking of Croucher, I had made a mistake in that game where, I saw an Athens player on the puck and I said, "Oh, Luke Croucher." I did a double take and it was actually Garrett Milan that was on the puck. It was easy enough for me to draw parallels in that moment, but do you see the similarities between those two, and what would you want Crouchy to learn from Millsy in the time that they're going to be playing together?
Well, if he can score more goals, that'd be great. So if he can score as many as Milan, that'd be awesome. No, I think they're two kind of comparable guys. I think they're just like, I've said it before, like guys that move their feet are always around the puck, no matter what in the game of hockey. It doesn't matter what level you look at. Guys that are skating all the time, guys that are moving through the neutral zone, tracking pucks in the defensive zone, that transfer hard, east-west, and in the O-zone when they're moving around. even when you don't have the puck, it puts you around the puck all the time. So you're always in good ice. You're always in good position to make a play. So both those players have that ability to see that on the ice. They are motors for our hockey team. They are the pulse of our team kind of thing. Really quickly, I think you can see that Croucher's come in and he's been a motivator for our hockey club. Even being a younger guy, he still he doesn't play with a lot of fear. He gets in there. He's a smaller guy, but he gives an honest effort every single shift. And like I said, he hounds pucks, and he's hard to play against because every time he gets knocked down, he's right back up and his feet are moving again. And again, he's just hunting pucks all the time and creating turnovers. And then back the other way we go, and we use our skill, and hopefully it ends at the back of our net.
I very, very rarely ask about players from other teams, but I thought it was an interesting question. Jacob Schnapp scored in that game for the T-Birds, and I wanted to ask you about him. I just think he's a unique profile, and you could correct me if you think I'm wrong. He's like someone almost out of a bygone era. I think some Athens players who went up against him last year would, probably call him an agitator, an irritator. I looked it up, and he was someone that you brought in when you arrived in Carolina. Coaching him and now coaching against him, do you feel like he does have that unique profile?
Yeah, when Jacob's one of those guys that reached out to me as a Florida kid, didn't know much about him, come in, he scored 3 goals against Columbus his first game. I thought he was the best player in the entire world. So he's been unreal for the fan base in Carolina. He's done a lot for Twin City, like in the organization, and being a fan favorite there. Like, people love Jacob. Jacob's an unreal human, great guy. Again, his persona on the ice is kind of a little different off the ice. If you ever met Jacob, he's a great guy, great kid. Again, the way he plays the game is when he's moving his feet again, he's laying the body and he's being that instigator. That's when he's at his best. He hangs around the net. He's got good hands. He's got good vision, and he's a big body, and he barks a lot on the ice, and he says a lot of things in between the benches and stuff like that. So he can do it. He does that villain role very well. I think there's a need in the game for guys like him. I think he does it well. And again, I can't say anything bad about the kid because, like I said, he does his role very well. He hangs around the net, and when he gets the opportunity, he puts it in the back of the net.
There's a few guys that you coached on that team that are still there. Were there any interactions between you and any of their boys, whether it was in the rink, outside the rink, during the game, after the game, anything like that?
Yeah, just quick hellos and stuff like that. Talked to Coach Harry a bunch of times there. There wasn't really many conversations, to be honest. We're kind of doing business in Athens here for the Rock Lobsters, and they're doing their thing. So, but it was good to see familiar faces, and obviously getting those wins and stuff like that here at home obviously is awesome. So, but no, not really much. There wasn't much transpiring. It was pretty quiet, to be honest.
Well, now we look ahead to the upcoming weekend, and the Rock Lobsters welcome the Monroe Moccasins for the first time this season to Akins Ford Arena. In the games between these two teams last year, it felt like there was a genuine hatred between these two teams. Were you aware of this rivalry, if you want to call it that? And if so, how were you made aware?
Yeah, I was actually. I've been following along quite a bit in the Federal Hockey League. I know some of the things that go on within the league and all the ownerships, and doesn't really matter, though. It's just hockey. Like I said, everybody has a kind of rival, and I feel like everybody's kind of a rival. You can have a rival start up in a matter of one shift can be a start into a rival, you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't think there's many rivals. I think you look at the other team's rosters, and guys know each other on each team, and they know that, like, this is a good team coming in, and we can't mess around. We got to be at the best of our games, and I feel like there's a lot to prove. So once you get 2 good teams, I feel like that's what everybody's paid for the ticket to watch, and it's going to be a good show on Saturday, Sunday.
They're having a strong start thus far. They're tied for the second best win percentage in the league, and if you've been reading the news, they have, I'm sure, what feels like a weight off their shoulders as well. What do you think we need to watch out for with the Moccasins this weekend?
Yeah, just their forward group. I think their forward group's real good. I think they're deep up front. Like I said, time and space. You can't let guys jump by you. You can't let guys get a second, third chance in the O-zone and stuff. We got to kill plays quick and take their time and space away. They have exceptional players. You give guys a little bit of room out there, they're going to find their next play. And then once they get you on the run, they're deadly. So I think discipline's going to be a big one too. You don't want to let them on the power play. Like, I feel like could be a big special teams battle this weekend. Who's going to be the most disciplined team's probably going to get the win. I feel like they're going to be tight hockey games, which I'm looking forward to, getting our group involved in that, and like a lot of like hard times kind of thing. Not hard times, but just like good, tough hockey kind of idea, and grinding through the 60 minutes and trying to find a win instead of just cruising to a victory.
It feels like there's always a target on our back whenever we play Monroe. Do you feel like that target is bigger given that we're the only undefeated team in the FPHL right now?
I think you're going to see everybody play us the exact same way, to be honest with you. I think every team's going to come in here, or whether we go in there, they're going to try to beat us like on any given night. I think that's the stepping stone. We want to be the bar where everybody wants to beat us. I think like we want to be the best. We want to have that mentality. We want to be the team that everybody wants to beat kind of thing. And like that way, the competition for our team is night in, night out. It's going to be unreal. So again, it's good for the league. It's good for our team. It's good for coaching. It's good for the fans. Like who's not invested in a good hockey game on a Saturday night in Athens here, with back and forth hockey, and the two rosters are going to be put out there are going to be highly skilled, and there's going to be a lot to showcase for the game of hockey here Saturday night.
In the past, and I haven't watched enough of their games this year to really say, but in the past, the Moccasins have been one of those teams to try and egg us on to play the kind of game that they want, which is, often enough, there's a lot of penalties, a lot of fights. The only other time we've really seen that this season was in Indiana, and Indiana just didn't really have the firepower to back it up. With Monroe kind of being known for that, especially against us, do you have to choose your words carefully with your team at all? Are you trying to rile your team up, or do you want them to play that game? Or you're saying, hey, guys, play smart, put the puck in the back of the net because that's what you're good at, and beat them on the ice, not with your fists?
I think we have to be calm and cool. I think the team, like I said before, the team that's going to be able to walk away from those scrums, walk away from those kind of dumb penalties after the whistle and stuff like that, that's the team that's going to win. At the end of the day,
hate to cut off our Coach's Corner segment short, but of course you can always find those here on the Athens Rock Lobster official YouTube page. Just go on over to playlists and look up Coach's Corner. This broadcast is brought to you by Thornton Brothers, your one-stop source for janitorial, safety, and packaging solutions. From restroom soap and protective eyewear to butcher paper and more, Thornton Brothers, they've got you covered. The rivalry between these two Continental Division teams returned to the tank with aplomb in the first period, starting with Daniil Glukaryov and Casey Gerstein dropping the gloves, and the Russians scoring a double-leg takedown to end the tussle. The Moccasins scored 2 goals right out of that fight, with Carlos Forneris and Jared Christie taking a 2-0 lead with tallies a minute apart. The Crustaceans, though, proved they weren't shell-shocked, beginning their clawback with a long-range shot that snuck through the 5-hole of Richie Perrant after he collided with Eric Neely in the crease. Continuing his red-hot start to his professional career, Luke Croucher redirected a Neely pass with his backhand for his 5th goal of the year. Scoreline stands at 2-2 as we start this second period. Take a quick look at scores around the FPHL. Twin City looking for their bounce back tonight. They're up 5-3 against the Columbus River Dragons in another game in the Continental Division. Watertown Wolves up big 5-2 against the Danbury Hat Tricks. Binghamton Black Bears up 3-1 against the Indiana Sentinels. Is there a path for the Sentinels back in that game to have a big win against the top of their division? The Binghamton Black Bears right now have a hold on that game. Slight edge to the Port Huron Prowlers up 2-1 against the Blue Ridge Bobcats. The Biloxi Breakers up 2-1 after a shutout win against the Baton Rouge Zydeco last night. Reminder that all of these teams in the FPHL are in their game 2 on the night. Milan on his 3rd stick of the night as he breaks another one right on the faceoff to start this second period. Moccasins now in control. Enter in on the right side. Big push in from behind. Casey Gerstein, who's back out on the ice after Daniil Glukaryov took him down on the 2. Oh, my goodness gracious. Joe Mack with 2 shots from a close distance. He can't get either past Perron. Turnaround effort from Picard in front of his own, either in front of the red line. But since it's right at the goaltender, no icing. Instead, you'll have an offensive zone faceoff, so good effort there from Picard. Virgili. Up against Forneris on this draw. Forneris, who opened the scoring in this game. Just about keeping that one in was Johansson. I believe the puck was played with a high stick. That causes the whistle. It was a wicked shot from Johansson, who's still looking for his first point in Athens colors. Virgili with a face-off win. Kolatarsi whips it around enemy territory. Kolatarsi asking for some help to try and deplete the Moccasins of a 2-on-1. Great feed out in front. Kolatarsi playing the stick. McPhail able to get his sights on that one as it was loose right out in front of his crease. Rock Lobsters will bat it away. Gallant patiently awaits for the puck to arrive on his stick. Gallant loves those kinds of positions. Took a piece of Perron and went into the inboards. Kolatarsi having a bounce all around his skates as it's pinned to the wall. Carter Shinkarik, the kind of skater who always feels dangerous even when he's in his own zone. Sends a pass to the length of the ice. Jesse Lowell, shift for him here. U-turn. Lowell getting deployed on this Croucher and Van Durken line, with Glukaryov still serving penalty minutes. Great pass out in front. Shot from Lowell came from the slot, missed wide. 2.5 minutes gone in the second period. Once again, that corner wall has come loose. Ice staff might have to come and check on that. Second time that's happened in this game. It's one thing when the Rock Lobsters are defending on that ice. It's a bit of a momentum killer for Monroe. You don't want it to become a momentum killer for the hometown team. Carter McPhail pumping up this crowd, coming out of his crease, waving his arms. Milan McAneely back out on the ice. Joe Mack on the forecheck. Wins it back, he gets tripped up. Paloma Park power play once again for Athens. Have not been able to tickle the twine on the quadruple P just yet. But how many times are the Moccasins going to be able to keep Athens out on the power play, given that the Rock Lobsters come into this game 9 for 27 on the man advantage? Gerstein will sit again. Athens scored on the power play in the first period. Goal from Croucher. Virgili. Milan making an office behind the net. Tiptoes out. Virgili lets it run. Gallant. Garrett getting up on the ice. Returning to his quarterback position on this power play. Lucky bounce off the pass from Milan. Hit a stick. Ended up on the stick of Gallant. Red Deer Rocket sends it into the corner. Captain Fantastic. Milan, beautiful move. Tried to feed it to Mack. McPhail fields the fly ball on a bounce. Milan doesn't see a route. Back to Shinkarek at the blue line. Mack, Gallant had to adjust his body to receive that pass from Mack. Mack out of the corner, off the crease of Perrant, rather off the pads of Perrant. Great move by Stefanini. Got himself into a position to score, missed with a backhand, wide right. Ooh, that one was almost very unfortunate for Shinkarek. Still a window of opportunity for Stefanini. Whiff on the shot from Corson Green. Too much time spent for the Rock Lobsters here in their own zone with a man up. Van Durken looking for Glukarioff at the blue line. Glukarioff back out on the ice. He served quite a bit of time, I believe 17 minutes for his penalties on the fight with Gerstein. Long-range whistler from Garcia. Penalty is over for Gerstein. Croucher. Van Durken. What a save with the glove by Perrant. We've seen that kind of shot from Van Durken all season long. Not many goaltenders have been able to stop it. Perrant depriving the Rock Lobsters of their first lead of the night. We go to our first commercial break of the second period. Athens have been bearing down on the Monroe net, but it stays 2 apiece.
Since we opened in 1968, we've taken pride in our professional staff. Unparalleled customer service is our legacy. Experience the best, skilled hands and friendly faces. At Stanfield Air Systems, satisfaction is not just a guarantee, it's our tradition. Schedule online at stanfieldair.com.
Honey, the sink is overflowing!
Okay, I'll call a plumber.
Need a plumber? Need a pro? When you need a plumber, call a pro. Plumber Pro.
Five minutes played in the second period, and Zachary Phillips, the hometown hero of the night. Appreciate Zachary joining us tonight for Military Appreciation Night here at Akins Ford Arena. The Rock Lobsters playing in their special camouflage jerseys. Those jerseys will be auctioned off after the game. Athens had another chance on the power play. Shot from distance, once again, hard off the end boards from Johansson. I thought the Rock Lobsters had scored on the power play in the first period through Luke Croucher. Right now, the FPHL website is saying that it came at even strength. Tucker Scantleberry got himself loose in the left circle. Not enough traffic out in front to trouble McPhail. Liriakos out on the ice to take this face-off. 2022-23 forward of the year after he logged the most assists in the FPHL that season with 76. He's been a contributor so far this season, but that hasn't had that kind of number. Great save from Jesse Lowell, who uses his body to deprive Scantlebury. Lowell buzzing around the ice. Deflection out in front. Liriakos took it wide. Picard sends it in. Lowell, Picard, and Virgili here. Virgili with a rip in the left circle. Moccasins take it the other way. Nice little pass, but they needed a trio to try and put a shot on McPhail. Shinkarik glides as only he can. Shot deflected into the wall behind Perrant's net. Garcia. Beautiful banker to Neely. Trying to feed Milan! The dynamic duo has been dominant in their first ever games together in the FPHL. Neely and Milan just look like clairvoyants out on the ice together. Is that the first time we've seen that backhand pass from Neely? Protects the puck with the backhand, then sends it to Milan, who puts it top shelf over the sprawling Rishi Perrant. And Athens has its first lead at 3-2. But Monroe looking for an immediate answer. Penalty against the Rock Lobsters. Forneris was brought down to the ice by Carter Shinkarik. And right after Athens takes its first lead of the night, they'll have to protect that lead on the Leslie Jones Law penalty kill. Thought it was Shinkarik who got called there for the hook, but Milan will sit in the box. Rock Lobsters PK has been good thus far tonight. Coming into the night, killing 27 of 29 penalties this year. A clip of 92.6%, sits atop the FPHL. Albrecht gets past Neely. Neely, Shinkarik, Kolatarsi, and Mack. A four-man unit on this PK. Forneris, Albrecht. Takes a shove from Shinkarik. Nice play with the stick from Mack. He's got a lot to do to try and generate a shot here. Great play with the body as he shakes Corson Green off. Neely playing keep away. Back with Monroe. 40 seconds shaved off this Moccasin power play right after Athens had taken its first lead at 3-2. Neely feeding Milan once again. Albrecht was in a beautiful position to try and shoot, but couldn't get it onto his tape. Milan with his 7th goal of the season. Neely with his 2nd assist of the night. This crowd's getting loud here. Liriakos. Sam Turner. Dubé Plouffe trying to lift the stick on Johansson. Puck comes out of the offensive zone for the Moccasins. Beautiful trip there to the front of the net by Sam Turner. Croucher, hot on Schumacher's heels, will get in front of the captain. No matter how hard you hit Croucher, he's one of those players that bounces and just absorbs that energy. Trying that beautiful move to the net. Liriakos loses the handle. Fresh out the box. Taking it to the net. Sends it over the bar. Milan slaps the glass with his stick. Garrett Milan with an opportunity out of the sin bin to give Athens some extra cushion in this game. Milan has scored some beautiful goals this year, but most of them have come off some good feeds. He was so dangerous on the breakaway last season. Someone who's coming off an MVP season. It looks like we're going to a timeout here. Not sure why. We're not under the 10-minute yet, but Rock Lobsters have their first lead of the game. Neely feeds Milan, and Athens is up 3-2.
When you're the leader, disaster cleanup and restoration, how do you make like it never even happened happen? Fire it up, Randy! By being prepared for anything! Whatever comes your way, there's a pro for that.
Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
Every business owner who's built a business wonders about their company's legacy. What's the path forward after they decide to take a step back? At the heart of every succession plan is a vision that safeguards hard-earned success. This isn't just paperwork. It's your roadmap, guiding a business during a change in ownership and detailing how ownership transitions and key financial decisions unfold. This instills a profound sense of pride, belonging, innovation, and commitment, ensuring a stable future for the company and a rewarding exit for you. Let's forge that path together.
It looks like we took the early timeout here because there's been perhaps some complaint from Perron about maybe extra snow collecting in his crease. Seems as though it's been fixed by the ice staff here at Akins Ford Arena. A reminder of the exciting news that the Rock Lobsters can be viewed in 10 games on the Peachtree Sports Network this season. Tomorrow at 4:05, show starting at 4, will be the first broadcast on the Peachtree Sports Network. And as always, you can catch us either here live on YouTube or on Sportfeed. Wearing my yellow ribbon on my lapel tonight in honor of Military Appreciation Night here in the tank. It's getting wavy in the tank. A tremendous crowd here at Akins Ford Arena. Glukaryov, shot gets deflected in the safety netting. Athens has once again shown out time after time to start this 2025-26 season, despite how many other events have been in the Classic City on game days this year. This line reunited in Glukaryov, Croucher, and Van Durken after Glukaryov served his time for multiple penalties. Croucher, U-turn, creative backhand banker, finds Van Durken. Moscow Mule finds Croucher at the line. Giveaway from him. Important poke check from Kolatarsi, who still has work to do. Just missing the top shelf there was Christie. First game as a Moccasin tonight, already has his first goal in the black colors of the Moccasins. A Birmingham Bull in the FPHL last year shed his skin, and now he's a snake. Offside against Athens. Roger Bordeaux or Bordeaux, not sure which, it seems I'm a couple minutes behind. Milan just scored on my feed. Roger, if you're experiencing any issues like that, see if there's a button that says live or try to refresh your YouTube page. If you're on your TV, just press back and then re-click our feed here. If you're still having issues, let me know in the chat. McPhail asks for the icing. He won't get it. Forneris bouncing off of Greco. Things getting feisty once again between these two teams. Forneris taken away from him by Johansson. Clean little move out from behind his net. Gallant tried to find Picard at the back door. Picard still looking for his first tally. Missed a couple weeks of time after an injury in Indiana, I believe in the first game of the season. Neely to Milan. Once again, it always seems like they know where the other one is. Milan pokes it away there from Sam Turner. 2-on-1 developing. Mack to Neely. Kept his stick on the ice, ripped a shot off of Perrant, and once again that safety netting will send us to a timeout. Rock Lobsters keep their lead of 3-2. Let's see if they can add on to it after this commercial break.
Farm Burger is defined by its mission, its farms, its team, and its family. In 2008, our co-founders gathered around a single idea: redefine the burger by bringing together a community of ranchers, farmers, chefs, restaurateurs, and eaters. Our promise is to strive every day and with every burger to uphold these core values to each and every one of you. We do that by holding ourselves to a higher standard. Grass-fed and grass-finished, that means our cattle are never fed grain. Our belief feeds our mission, and our mission is to feed you.
Meet our professional team, where the best customer service is our promise. With over 5 decades of expertise, trust Stanfield to keep you comfortable. Schedule online at stanfieldair.com.
It's been a cagier second period between these two teams. More than half of the second period played, and in this second period, the Rock Lobsters have the shot advantage at 8-4. Through the whole game, it's 26-19. Athens was able to get its first lead of the game at 3-2 after Neely fed Milan once again. Puck loose in the slot. Shinkarik, backhand bat, doesn't go his way. Heck of a shot, ton of speed from Scantlebury, but lacked precision. Neely kills the momentum of that puck on the pass from Kolatarsi. Dumped into the far corner. Neely with the takeaway. Backhand lofted shot goes wide. Shinkarik looking for a tip. Neely. Bodies around him in the corner. Moccasin strike. Take the biscuit away. Clean pass at the blue line. Moccasins looking for tips out in front against McPhail. The speed on that puck, though. Finds Gallant! Gallant finds the net! The Red Deer Rocket, who had a 6-minute hat trick in Monroe last season. The Moccasins would have rather he stayed in Allen, but the Red Deer Rocket's back, and he makes it a 4-2 game. Gallant is one of those players that when he gathers that kind of speed at the blue line, he's so difficult to stop. Tucks that puck in for a good night's sleep right under the bar past Perron, who's now led in 4. Goals in now back-to-back-to-back games for Kaysen Gallant. Tricky offside there against Monroe. Oh, right in front of the Moccasin bench. Something brewing here between Matt Garcia and Yanni Liriakos. Liriakos is going to go to the box, and Garcia will be joining him. Garcia thinks it's a joke. Garcia telling Liriakos that he talks a lot. And with the 4th goal of the night, Crustacean Nation has won the Freddy's Score with 4 free mini Sunday. For more information, check out Fan Saves on how to redeem your free mini Sunday. It's also the Hyatt Agency Insurance goal of the game. Thought it was going to be an easy enough call here, perhaps a roughing for both players, Garcia and Liriakos, who were barking at each other and got tied up in front of the Moccasin bench. Liriakos is a goal away from his 150th in the FPHL. Already has 400 points in his 277 FPHL games. I think I saw one of the officials hold up the 4. So both teams will have to remove a skater, yes or no? Well, the referee says, my bad. It's actually 5-on-5. Gallant, here he comes again. Red Deer Rocket, dangerous on the right side. He knew the Moccasins knew that, so he was looking for the pass to Jesse Lowell. Lowell has a goal on the season, but still wants to score his first at home here in the tank. Greco, wicked shot! How sweet for the Swede! A 5-2 lead for the Rock Lobsters. Virgili going to be one of the speakers tomorrow afternoon for Faith, Family, and Fun Night here at Akins Ford Arena. Michael Greco sends a shot that asks questions of Perron. Virgili plants himself out in front of the French-Canadian goaltender and goes short side against him, showing his appreciation for the Akins Ford Arena audience as he snaps his back onto the glass. Great play make there from Greco, because so often the best pass is a shot. There's been so many pauses from the officials, and I'm not always sure why. It was the Monroe Moccasins that had a 2-0 lead in this game. Since then, 5 unanswered goals for the good guys. All of a sudden, it looks like it's a long way back. I guess they saw something in Garcia and his altercation with Liriakos, because Garcia has just walked back to the locker room. Trying to see if I still see Lyriakos in the Moccasin penalty pit. What's going on here? Schumacher and Shinkarik have had a lot of FaceTime with each other tonight. Let's see if the FPHL website has any answers for us. No, I'm not seeing the penalties for either Lyriakos or Garcia on the game summary. Virgili from Greco and Gallant. Getting swarmed there by Rock Lobsters. In their camouflage green was Carlos Forneris. Forneris lets it run. Colatarsi. Icing against Athens. Still on the search for answers on why Garcia got sent to the locker room. It has appeared on the FPHL website, Yanni Lyriakos' 10-minute misconduct for inciting an opponent. Good protection right off of the faceoff from Colatarsi. But then Van Durken gets taken down with a hit from Scantlebury. 2-on-1 developing. Glukaryov. Feed to Shinkarik on the left side, who missed with a slapper wide. Colatarsi rips it into the corner. Croucher stays on his feet, but loses the puck. Great area there for Sam Turner's shot. Another shot come out from the left. Tanner Coleman, 25-year-old D-man from Oswego, New York. Athens playing a much tidier game here in the second period. But another goal for Monroe could give the Snakes life. Gerstein, a big old boy at 6'3", looks even bigger on the ice. Kyler Matthews scans the sheet behind him. Icing against Monroe this time. So Garcia and Lyriakos both given 10 minutes for inciting an opponent. I always thought inciting was more of like a chicken and egg type situation. Didn't know opponents could incite each other. So we'll see Garcia at some point in the third period. Rosenbaum getting paired with Greco here. It's an easy offside call at the blue line. Monroe Moccasins getting whistled on the combination pass of Albrecht and Forneris. Going to another commercial timeout here. The Rock Lobsters in firm control. They've got their claws on another 3 points Can they hold on to this cushion in the third period? Stay tuned here on the Athens Rock Lobster Network and find out.
Every business owner who's built a business wonders about their company's legacy. What's the path forward after they decide to take a step back? At the heart of every succession plan is a vision that safeguards hard-earned success. This isn't just paperwork. It's your roadmap, guiding a business during a change in ownership and detailing how ownership transitions and key financial decisions unfold. This instills a profound sense of pride, belonging, innovation, and commitment, ensuring a stable future for the company and a rewarding exit for you. Let's forge that path together.
Just hang on. Perfect.
Another writer in the storm in the chat, letting me know that it's pronounced Oswego, New York, hometown of Tanner Coleman. Fans getting rowdy here for the Akins Ford Arena rock cam. And this arena has indeed been rocking. It's gone up another level. It's gone up to 11 if you're a Spinal Tap fan. Rock Lobsters 5 unanswered goals ever since the Moccasins took a 2-0 lead. Ooh, that one had to hurt, but an important shot block there from Shinkarik on Ballant. Corson Green. Off the inboards. Forneris gets there first. Takes a hit from Greco for his efforts. Neely tried to stay on his feet, mostly bounced off that check. Looks no worse for wear. Save from McPhail on Ballant. No one knows more about this rivalry than Michael Greco. And the Grecking ball has been looking for his level of hit all night tonight. He's landed it a couple times as well. Virgili, Picard, and Gallant out on the ice. Looks like Johansson and Kolatarsi, a pair here. Lofted towards center ice. Asp can't field it cleanly. Picard to Gallant. Canadian connection just missed out there. Rock Lobster's going to go back to the power play. Quadruple P starts now. It was something we saw in our statistics to start this game in our open. The amount of penalties taken, just as it was last year, continues to be an issue for the Moccasins this season. And it's a shame from a Monroe perspective because they were able to come into this arena, not an easy place to play by any means, and take a 2-0 lead. Good save by Glukarionov at the blue line. Second unit will start this quadruple P. Nice diving play there from Van Durken. Neely in the corner. Croucher behind the goal line. Dangerous intervention. Rock Lobsters are going to go to 5-on-3. Rock Lobsters will get yet another skater out on the ice until the Moccasins touch the puck, and it'll be 1 minute and 23 seconds of 5-on-3. Corey Cunningham will join Casey Gerstein in the penalty box. Gerstein has gotten the full tour of the sin bin tonight, no doubt. Athens just a game removed from their last 5-on-3 goal, as the Thunderbirds gave them a chance to score one last Saturday. Call is 2 minutes for slashing for Cunningham. Lots of open ice with a 5-on-3. Milan gets loose. Into the glove like a ground ball. Good save there by Richie Perron. All about shot generation here on the 5-on-3. Trouble Perron as much as you can. Milan to Neely. Rock Lobsters will have yet another skater here. Moccasins will touch the puck. What is Monroe doing? Someone swiping at the face of Van Durken. Already frustrated from the penalty he took. Tucker Scantlebury escorted to the box. Stop me if I've said this in this broadcast, penalties an issue for the Moccasins. Milan in the high slot. A lot of time here for Athens to add to their lead. Easy Milan with the initial shot. Waiting at the back door was Luke Croucher. It's the young man's second of the game. He's had a red-hot start to his pro career, but it doesn't get much easier than that. As we take a second look, Milan with the initial shot. Perron makes the save, but lets it trickle out to Croucher, who was already waiting for the pass. Like a gift from the heavens. So now another 5-on-3 will start if you want to look at it that way. Still a minute and 11 seconds left of 5-on-3, a 6-2 lead for Athens. Scantlebury trying to bark things at players who aren't even paying attention to him. You've heard of a hero's welcome, Scantlebury giving a villain's goodbye. If you're a neutral fan, what a disappointment for a Monroe perspective, because they've shown they have the kind of firepower to be a team worth reckoning with in the Continental Division. But when you have these kind of penalty issues, they're going to rear their ugly head over and over again, especially when you get down to crunch time late on in the season and into the playoffs. I think the clock wasn't running. We'll see what happens here. Clock will be restored to 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Haven't seen this much uninterrupted 5-on-3 time in quite some time. Virgili. Mack. Able to end that trip for the puck. Virgili, backhand sweep to Gallant. Shinkarik. Shinkarik. Shot. Trickles behind the net. Pick back up. Virgili in the right circle. Shinkarik fakes the slapper. Uh-oh. Picard tries to just send one hot into the crease. Falls to Gallant. Shinkarik whiffs in the slot. Breakaway for Monroe. Why not? You're already up 5-on-3, but the Rock Lobsters will make it 4-on-3. Picard, I thought, committed the penalty there. Pardon me, was Gallant who was there with Shinkarik. It was the D-man, Sam Turner, who sent himself on the break. Sprawling, prone on the ice. Cason Gallant seemed convinced that he got the puck there. Instead, he'll sit for 2. It's going to be 4 seconds of 4-on-3, about 49 seconds of 4-on-4. And then about 1 minute and 7 seconds of Monroe power play. Oh, it's been an Athens versus Monroe kind of game here at Akins Ford Arena. Shinkarik pokes it away from the faceoff dot. Look at the speed being generated by the legs of Captain Fantastic. Sends it out of the zone, finds Neely with a clean tape-to-tape pass. Backwards skating, drifting towards McPhail's net is Garrett Milan with a puck on his stick. Neely, cross ice towards Kolatarsi. Neely gets there first. Milan fakes the slapper. Kolatarsi in the slot. Could be another odd man rush here for the Moccasins. But they commit the icing. Excuse me, they commit the offside. So much has happened in this second period that it seems like my brain can't keep up with my mouth at this point. Face-off win by Monroe as we're skating 4 apiece for the next 10 seconds. Puck is out of play. Did it take a deflection? Must have, because I'm not seeing anyone heading to the penalty box. Final seconds of the second period. Puck drop will happen at center ice. Just 1 more second remaining of 4-on-4. End of the second period really lumbering to its end. Darik Dubé-Plouffe, who's serving part of the penalty to Cunningham, comes back out on the ice. Monroe Moccasin power play will start. So there's not going to be any time to generate anything. They will start the third period with about 1 minute and 1 second of power play to their name. However, it seems like a long way back for the Monroe Moccasins, who are now down 6-2 at the end of the second period as the Rock Lobsters scored 4 goals in the second 20 minutes of this game. Here at Milan, 6 minutes and 25 seconds in. Kaysen Gallant, 6 minutes later. Philip Virgili, 42 seconds after that. And then Croucher on the power play to make it 6-2. That's where we currently stand. It's McPhail in the net tonight. He's been the Game 1 starter for Athens this season. But the Game 2 starter has been William Lavalier, the Great Wall of Montreal, who has made his way back after spending camp in Allen with the Americans, and former head coach Steve Martinson. A fan favorite very quickly in his time in Athens as he arrived to the Classic City mid-season last year. Because of that, we had more fan questions than ever on our Lobster Tales segment. Here it is, my talk with William Lavalier.
Hey there, Crustacean Nation, and welcome back to Lobster Tales on the Athens Rock Lobster Network. It's the go-to way for you fans to learn more about your favorite players. As always, I'm your host, Mattine Rad, and my guest on this episode is a wall in net and became a fan favorite after he was signed mid-season last year, went on to keep a 12-2-1 record. The man whose last name keeps me up at night, it's William Lavalier. Willie, thank you for joining me. How are you doing today, man?
Doing great. I'm excited to do that for the first time. Obviously, just happy to be here. So, yeah, let's get it going.
It's a pleasure to have you, man. I'm sure I'm not the only person in Athens that has trouble with your last name. Can you say it once for us and clear up any confusion?
Yeah, it's basically it's just Lavalier. Obviously, it's a French name, not easy for you guys. But yeah, Lavalier. I know a lot of guys go by Lavi, which is fine by me. So yeah, no worries.
It's fine by me too. I'm going to keep calling you that as well. So, now we know, and hopefully I won't screw it up anymore either. I want to talk about how much it's worked for you here in Athens, as is the case with so many hockey players. You've bounced around from ECHL loans, Fed teams, and despite the fact that you joined halfway through last season, there's been no team that you've played more games for now in your professional career than the Rock Lobsters. What is it about your stop here that you think has worked for both Athens and yourself?
Obviously, I've known Shanks for a couple of years, third year together. So yeah, things weren't going too well. I was in Columbus, was on the same page with them. So I give the call to Shanks, and he's the one that got me here, and obviously Marty too. And I just think the team overall is just, we have so many good guys on the team. And when you're happy somewhere, obviously everything goes well. It's showing up on the ice. So yeah, just a good group of guys. So you want to play good for them. And I think that's why it's working.
You were born in Montreal, and I know you talk about Shanks kind of bringing you to the team, but there was a real tight-knit group of Quebecois guys on the team. And whenever I was on the bus last season, you could hear, French being spoken, a couple rows back between you and Brandon Picard, Malik Johnson, Dominique Rodriguez. How much did having those guys help you feel welcome to this city and to this team?
Obviously, it's good to be able to speak your language a little bit. I've played with Picard back in junior, so another guys that I knew on the team when I got there. And also Dominic was sitting by me in the locker room. It was a good time to have some guys from Quebec, and we were able to speak the language from home. Obviously, last year the Montreal Canadiens made it to the playoffs, so watching the games with them was fun, and just bring a little culture from back home. Yeah, definitely fun.
It seems like there's a long history of Quebecois being great goaltenders that goes back to the 50s with Jacques Plante. What do you think it is about the great province of Quebec that breeds such great goaltending?
Well, obviously, having the Montreal Canadiens, they were a power team for so many years. Back in the days, they had so many good goalies. I think that's why I think everyone wants to be a goalie by seeing like, yeah, he's not from Quebec, but still a Canadian guy. Carey Price in the nets, and like he's obviously a legend back home. So yeah, he's one of the reasons why I started playing as a goalie. Look up after him when I was younger. Obviously, for me, I think he's one of the best goalie ever. So yeah, just having good goalies back then in Montreal made guys want to become goalies, I guess.
I played a very similar game with Carter McPhail on our episode a couple weeks ago where we blind ranked some goaltenders. I want to do the same thing with you, but I want to keep it just Quebecois goaltenders because there is so many of them. So basically, I'm going to say a name. You're going to place them first through fifth, but once they're there, you can't move them from that spot. Yeah. And we're going to start with my personal favorite, and that's Roberto Luongo.
Oh, that's a good one. So 1 to 5, I would put him third.
Well, up next is a guy who was all about longevity and won everything there was to win. That's Martin Brodeur.
Oh, Martin Brodeur. There's so many good ones. Hard to put them. You obviously got to be up there. Oh my God, that's a tough one. I'll put him second.
Another multiple time Stanley Cup champion and a fan favorite just like yourself. Next up on our list is the Flower, Marc-Andre Fleury.
For me, I grew up watching him. He's kind of in my years while I was watching hockey, the young goaltender. Dude, I think I gotta put him up there first for me in my heart, obviously. Yeah, he's gotta go first.
We'll see how the rest of this list shakes out, but
I would have changed it, but like, yeah, I know there's a good one coming. So.
I'm sure you do. Fourth guy on our list, he hasn't won anything yet, but he's the guy in Montreal right now, only 3 years older than you, Sam Montembeault.
Oh, yeah, good guy. I got to practice with him a lot with the Montreal Canadiens during summer. I got to put him fifth since he haven't won anything, but great goaltender, great guy too. He'll get his legacy going, I'm sure.
And the fourth spot is the only one that's open. That means the last on our list, who is probably the first on many people's rankings, is going to go fourth on your.
Patrick Roy. If I could change my list, he would have been up there too. Maybe before Luongo or Martin Brodeur, but obviously play for Montreal Canadiens, my favorite team. His legacy is tough for himself. Just a winner, right? Yeah, I feel bad to put him fourth. I think he could be 1 or 2 for sure, but yeah, one of the greatest to ever do it for sure.
I know you were so young at the time. You may not have even been born yet when it happened, but our Montreal guys don't look at him as favorably anymore because of the way he left?
No, I think that's in the past. Everyone loves him. He got back to Montreal, not as a goaltender, but he came to games and always had a standing ovation. His numbers retired. So no, I think that's all in the past. We don't blame it on him. The situation, everyone knows the story, but he left the team and won a Stanley Cup the same year. Like, that just show how good he is. And no, I think that's in the past. We love him, greatest goaltender ever. So yeah,
I think we can add William Lavalier to that list pretty soon now too. Something I wanted to ask about, and I never really know how to approach this kind of question to other goalies, but I was wondering what you and maybe other goalies in your talks with them think about the stereotype that goalies are kind of out there, they're a little weird, a little different. Do you think that's true? And if so, why do you think that is?
Is it true? Yes, I've met some weird goaltender in my life for sure. But I met some weird players too, So there's not as much goalie as players, but like you'll find a weird player on every team, right? But yeah, I mean the reason why I think like you got to be crazy to be a goaltender, obviously. But yeah, you're kind of by yourself out there. So yeah, you talk to in your head a lot. You're by yourself. You got to figure it out. You can't really rely on anyone else. Yeah, obviously your team can play good in front of you, but like when there's a shot, you got to make the save. You can't count on anyone else to do it. So yeah, I think by being by yourself a lot means you got to be weird a little bit. But yeah, I think there's as weird players as goalies. So yeah, it is what it is.
You're joined between the pipes this year by Carter McPhail, and there's very little that separates you two right now. Because of that, you guys switch for the starting spot every game. Do you and who you are as a player welcome that kind of friendly competition, or do you think that pushes both of you to be better?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always a way to do it if you want to push yourself and not be too comfortable, to have a good partner. Obviously, McPhail is a great guy. We get along a lot, so there's not really any competition. We're just here to support each other, and we just want to win at the end of the day. So I think it's just good so we can rest, play one game. It's obviously hard on the body to play back to back, but with having a two good goaltender, I think we're allowed to be healthy for the whole season, right? So no, there's no bad blood between us. We like it, and we give advice to each other, work as a team. That's how you win championship, right?
Absolutely. That's, I think, for my money, best goaltender pair in the league, and it's showing right now with the team's undefeated record. But a hockey player I know isn't the only profession you've been in, and I wanted to know, what can you tell us about your modeling career? Googling your name, I see some headshots around, and you have an old Instagram dedicated to your modeling. How was that something you got into, and is it something you still do?
No, I don't do it anymore. But one of my good friends when I was younger was a model, and I went to one of his show with him, and his owner that owns him, he said, he kind of took a look at me. He said, "Hey, would you like to try and be a model and everything?" I was like, yeah, sure. Like, I heard you can get good money, right? So I was kind of doing it on the side with hockey. I got some good contract, like with Apples and a bunch of big company, which you can make good money. But with hockey, after I started traveling, I didn't really have the time to do it. So yeah, I kind of put that on the side. But it was a good experience though. So yeah, and it's now it's in the back. But like, yeah, I had a lot of fun, made some great people, and just get to do that. It's a different world. Yes. So yeah, no, it was a fun time.
Well, get ready, GQ. After Willie retires, I'm sure you'll be getting a phone call. But Willie, we're about to get into our fan question segment. And before we get started, I'm starting in our fan question segment a little quicker than I do most of the guys. And that's because we got a ton of questions that the fans sent in for this one. And it really cemented to me, in my mind, how much of a fan favorite you are. Obviously, your play in net has a ton to do with that. But what other reasons do you think Crustacean Nation has really connected with you as a player and as a person?
Maybe my friend Jackson. I don't know. I don't know. I just, to be honest, I like to give my time back to people. Like, they come to cheer for us. I think we have the best fan in the league. So yeah, just take the time to talk with them, get to know them. Maybe once you get to know them, they're definitely gonna like you even more. So no, probably by just taking the time to talk with them, talk about the games, the life, always did back home, everything. Maybe that's for that, but also maybe because I'm French. I don't know.
I think it definitely doesn't hurt. Well, Willie, it's time for our Question A Crustacean segment. We ask fans to send questions in on both Reddit and the Athens Rock Lobster fan page on Facebook, and we have a ton to get through here. If you watching at home want to send your questions in, keep an eye out for posts from me on both Reddit and the fan page. First things first, Willie, I got a message from that bullfrog on Reddit who says, I saw your post about questions for Lavalier. Do you think he would be willing to give a shout out to my 6-year-old son? He thinks Lavalier is the coolest person ever, and he even drew a picture for him last season that he was able to give him after a game. So, Willie, do you have any words for 6-year-old Hamp, short for Hampton, who's watching at home?
Yeah. Hey, Hampton. I do still have your picture. Good. It's a good one. Thank you for cheering for us. You're a great kid, dude. Hopefully I'll see you around this season.
Well, Hamp, I hope you enjoyed that, and hats off to your father who reached out to me as well for that special message. Next question comes from Shannon Vanskike, who asks, does he hear the crowd both in chirping and supporting him, and how much, if any, does it affect his play? Sirius Dark Ice on Reddit also asks, do you find fan goalie chants humorous, annoying, or neither? Do you just tune out the noise? So yeah, Willie, talking about fan noise here.
Obviously you're dialed in your game. You're trying not to let anything around affect you. But as a lot of other fans are, it's kind of hard to not hear them, right? So yeah, I do hear the chirp sometime when they chirp the other goalies, and when they cheer for you, obviously, especially between the TV time, you can hear them a lot. But yeah, you don't want that to affect you too much. You never want to be like, you trying never too low, never too high. Obviously, when people are cheering for you, you get on that high, but it does give you a lot of energy. But you're trying to like stay calm, you know. But yeah, no, obviously, when you guys cheer for us, it's amazing. You just give us so much more energy, and we want to play better. So,
like you said, the best fans in the FPHL. Ty Benton wonders, how do you calm your mind during a game and during the timeouts?
A lot by breathing, control your breathing, trying to put your heartbeat lower, you know. You get to, everyone's got a little ritual. So by doing that, your ritual, it makes you think about something else and like just calm you down. But yeah, I would say a lot by breathing. We have like, everyone's got a different tempo, but we all have the one that works for us. So yeah, I would say by breathing. Yeah.
I thought this was an interesting one because you don't often know what interests guys outside the rink. Joshua Sellers asks, what is one topic that you could sit and talk about all day and never get tired of talking about?
Probably hockey, you know. That's what I do to live. That's what I do every day. So no, the day I'm gonna be tired about talking hockey, I'll probably won't be playing anymore. But yeah, no, I love talking about hockey. Obviously, it's something that my whole family did. My dad used to play hockey, my 2 brothers. So it's something that's run around the family, obviously. And you get to live with your teammate during the season. So obviously it's hard to not talk about it, right? So yeah, I won't get tired about talking hockey for sure.
It's your life, man. Talking shop. It makes sense. Hope McIntyre with our next post. She says,
you want to move better, feel stronger, and live healthier? Join Athens Health and Fitness. Personal training, results-driven programs, a community that pushes you. Check them out at athenshealthandfitness.com. Hate to cut our Lobster Tales segment with William Lavalier short, but we've got a third period to play, and coming back out on the ice is Carter McPhail and the Athens Rock Lobsters, who scored 4 goals in the second period to take a 6-2 lead. A lot of shots into their feet by the Moccasins. A lot of penalties taken. They will start the third period on the power play, but a long way back into this one. Take a quick look at some of the scores around the FPHL. Twin City Thunderbirds have defeated the Columbus River Dragons. Finally, the bounce back that the team from Carolina was looking for. Watertown Wolves up 7-4. What a barnstormer that one is in Danbury against the Hat Tricks. Binghamton Black Bears ended up flexing their muscle, won 6-1 against the Sentinels. Tied game in Blue Ridge between the Bobcats and the Port Huron Prowlers. Slight edge for the Biloxi Breakers, 3-2 over the Zydeco. William Lavalier, it'll be his job tomorrow to try and stop the Moccasins. Matt Garcia will start the third period in the box, but will return at some point. Casey Gallant will sit for another minute and a second. As again, the Moccasins will start this third period on the power play. Philip Virgili has the goal in this one. Luke Croucher's on hat trick watch. Milan leads all Rock Lobster forwards with 3 points. Goal and 2 assists for Super Milan. Jesse Lowell out of Illinois, gonna have some penalty kill time here. Carter McPhail led in the 2 goals in the first period for the Snakes to take their 2-0 lead. He's been a wall ever since. As Garrett Rutledge said in our Coach's Corner segment, your best penalty killers have to be your goaltenders. See if McPhail can continue to keep the Moccasins out after a clean second period. .30 seconds to go on Gallant's penalty. Blocker save on the shot from Corson Green. Moccasins trying to shove it in the oven, but McPhail slams the door shut. We saw Tucker Scantleberry leave the ice in the second period. 10-minute misconduct for verbal abuse of an official. Final 10 seconds of the Monroe Moccasin power play. Kyler Matthews. Corson Green. Fresh out on the ice, Kaysen Gallant on the break, misses the top shelf. Sean Kuhn now in net for the Moccasins. Richie Perrant, who played through the first 2 periods of this game, gets the hook in the third. Feels likely that we'll see Sean Kuhn start tomorrow afternoon's game as well. A reminder, a 4 o'clock puck drop between the Rock Lobsters and the Moccasins. These 2 teams will see each other once again in 2 weeks from now, with that happening at the Monroe Civic Center. Milan gets on his horse, can't beat the icing call. Rock Lobsters will auction off those beautiful military appreciation jerseys right after the game. That's where we'll be able to hear the auctioneering abilities from Anthony Schaff, who I'd like to thank him for his service as well. Thank you, Anthony. Shot right off of the face-off. McPhail sprawling around the crease, but it's Michael Greco in front of him. who's able to make the block, send the puck the length of the ice, another icing against Athens. Alex Shader asking in the chat, did I hear correctly, 10 minutes for verbal abuse of an official? That's correct. That was the call against Tucker Scantlebury. He tried to make a villain of himself as he left the ice for the Monroe locker room. There's a lot of uninterrupted 5-on-3 time for the Rock Lobsters. Croucher, a margin away from beating the offside whistle. Mack takes it over. Time will stop at 17:48. Two number 12s going up against one another on the faceoff. Van Durken and Ballant. Long range shot, easy enough for Kuhn. Really lax start to this third period. Not sure if both of these teams have somewhat accepted the scoreline, as hefty as it is. Van Durken gets kicked off the dot. Croucher takes his place on the search for his first pro hat trick. He's been on hat trick watch before in Indiana. Good poke check there from Jordan Rosenbaum. Rosenbaum is a name that we haven't said a lot tonight. We haven't said his name a lot this season because of how calm, cool, collected he is as a defenseman. The only time we do is when he has a tremendous pass for an assist or his first pro goal, which we saw in his first game against Indiana. It's been a great start to the pro career of Jordan Rosenbaum. We've talked a lot about these rookies who have made a huge impact for the Rock Lobsters. Joe Mack is coming on good. Luke Croucher is looking like a potential Rookie of the Year candidate. Jesse Lowell tenacious in his forecheck and his penalty kill. And Jordan Rosenbaum alongside Matt Garcia. He's been a welcome addition to this squad. Brandon Picard still looking for his first point of the season. Taken away from him by Jared Christie. Around the end boards. Rock Lobsters. Almost an odd man rush there for Geely. Has it swatted away from him by Christie. Looking like a good two-way forward out there is Christie. Has a goal in this game as well. Moccasins find an entrance, but can't find much more than that. Milan packs a heck of a punch in his 5'7" frame. Schumacher trips, Mack to the net. Forehand, backhand, back to the forehand, play out in front. Neely can't get it to go either. Sean Kuhn stands tall. Would have been a highlight reel goal from Mack, who tried to capitalize on the slip there from Frank Schumacher. And then Mack, having missed the shot on the break, had a tremendous pass out to the front of the net. McPhail pokes it away. Rock Lobsters take it away. Slight whiff there from Rosenbaum. Croucher, pugnacious, never backs down. Goes north to south on the pass. Tape to tape there. But then the Moccasins give it away. Van Durken chases Croucher's dump in. Sort of a 2-on-1 developing. Rosenbaum, a tremendous poke check. McPhail again, physical, athletic in his crease. Poke checks it away. Shot catches him up high from Matthews. Albrecht slaps the ice with his stick. Asking for the pass, he gets it. Stefanini gets blocked out. Picard has 3 Moccasins around him. Kuhn in the trap. Picard lays a hit on his fellow French-Canadian, Dariq Dubé-Plouffe. Find there from Dubé-Plouffe to Asp. Virgili gets his hands on that one. Stops that puck. Shinkarik sends it in, but only as far as Tanner Coleman. Virgili, no-look pass. Almost found Neely. Slight mistake there from Shinkarik. Cunningham tried to make him pay. McPhail looking out for his fellow Carter. Mack back for Rosenbaum. Up ahead for Neely, who got a piece, but not much more. Fans remaining loud here. Milan, what a pass! Neely out in front. Blocked by the body of Coleman. Milan. Mack. Oh, Rosenbaum, evasive. But another block shot from Coleman. Rosenbaum racing to try and stop the 2-on-1. Another save from McPhail. So good with his lateral movement in the crease. Christie can't cast a spell on it. Pass to the left circle. Pad saved by McPhail. Still remaining spry in the crease, despite the hefty advantage on the scoreboard for the team in front of him. Garcia, tough for him to bring down the tough Gerstein and the big Gerstein, 6'3". Lukarioff not giving up on that one. Croucher behind the goal line, as we so often see him. A nuisance, a gnat on the forecheck. Nice little deke from Danny Dangles, brought down to the ice. There's a couple of Russians known for their fighting ability, but earlier on tonight we saw Daniil Glukaryov pull out the double leg takedown on Casey Gerstein. Really clean technique. I wonder if he's trained with Khabib. Khabib Nurmagomedov, known for being an undefeated UFC fighter, retired, having been the lightweight champion at 155 pounds. Nice little move into the zone from Corey Cunningham, loses a handle. Virgili, active with his stick handling. Moccasins still putting their bodies on the line to block shots. It's been a much quicker paced third period, at least in terms of the stoppages in play. Picard kicks it to himself. The ice pick sends it high. Virgili takes it into the zone. I thought Lowell had kept it in, but offside against Athens. A commercial break, a long time in the making. Nothing in terms of goals in the third period, but still a stranglehold for the Rock Lobsters in this game over the Snakes. A 6-2 lead for the hometown team.
Every business owner who's built a business wonders about their company's legacy. What's the path forward after they decide to take a step back? At the heart of every succession plan is a vision that safeguards hard-earned success. This isn't just paperwork. It's your roadmap, guiding a business during a change in ownership and detailing how ownership transitions and key financial decisions unfold. This instills a profound sense of pride, belonging, innovation, and commitment, ensuring a stable future for the company and a rewarding exit for you. Let's forge that path together.
This thing on? Perfect.
Some fans enjoying themselves on the Terrapin cam. You have a baseball glove on? He seems ready to catch either a nice cold Terrapin or maybe a puck that gets loose into the stands here at Akins Ford Arena. Third period has flown by here. Half of it to go, though. Jesse Lowell gets poked at. Snake sheds a stick instead of its skin. Picard wins it back. Very smart play there with this line of Virgili, Lowell, and Picard. Picard snaps a shot. We've seen him score from that kind of angle against Monroe. And a goal last season on Monroe Civic Center ice. We got a whistle when the puck was loose. Looks like Virgili is going to sit here. Moccasins back to the power play, and if you take a look on the federalhockey.com website, you can see just how lengthy the penalty summary is on the game sheet of this game. Rock Lobsters back on the Leslie Jones Law penalty kill, which has thus far been perfect on the night. We go back to a commercial break. When we return, the Moccasins trying to find their first goal since the first period. They'll have a man advantage to try and do so. Stay tuned here on the Athens Rock Lobster Network.
Rock Lobster fans, this is Brad Akins. Akins Ford has led the way for years and keeps on growing. From offering the Southeast's largest inventory to being #1 in the nation in Ford truck sales, we're here to serve you. Want to customize your ride? Our Wild Willie's accessories team can make it as unique as you are. Make it legendary. Need service? Our fleet of over a dozen mobile service vans come right to you. Akins Ford and Winder. We really are closer and bigger than you think. Rock Lobsters, let's go.
Gary Ryan, otherwise known as the Fed League Flash, has to be careful in the chat. He might get fined. Rock Lobsters back to the Leslie Jones Law penalty kill. Luke Croucher on the penalty kill. There's only been one shorthanded goal for the Rock Lobsters this year. But Croucher is on hat trick watch. The call is slashing against the Swede. Virgili sits for 2. Mistake. Another self-inflicted wound for the Moccasins. Corson Green. Into the left side of the zone, Alston Albrecht. Green. Long-range missile. McPhail able to ricochet it wide of the net. Mack and Croucher, a couple speedy skaters, young guys, the forwards on this 4-man unit. Good block shot there. Croucher unable to cast a spell on it. Take that puck with him to try and generate a shorthanded break. Rock Lobsters with a big broken stick on that clearance attempt. Here's Milan. Kolatarsi got a new twig before getting back on the bench. We'll be back ready to go. Set high over McPhail. About a minute, 50 seconds gone on this Monroe Moccasin power play. Not really anything worth mentioning just yet. Meeting of the minds between Van Durken, McPhail, and Johansson before what the Rock Lobsters will hope is the final face-off on this Moccasin power play. We'll turn around rip from Casey Gerstein. Johansson taken off of his stick. How did that not go in? How did that one not go in? Not sure if McPhail pulled another trick out of his sleeve or if the Moccasins just mucked up. What was it, 2-0? McPhail, clean grab there. Both teams back at even strength. Shot on goal tally is pretty close. 37-34. Here's Croucher again. Rosenbaum. Tipped in by Van Durken. Glukarioff. Long range shot. Van Durken got himself in the right place. Couldn't get a killing touch on that puck. Van Durken's goal streak at risk of ending here. Has 6.5 minutes to tickle the twine. Looking for a tip out in front was Virgili. Lowell was in front of Kuhn. Never made it to the rookie. Lowell wants it. He gets it. Poked back into the neutral ice. Six minutes to go. Is it finally going to happen here for Monroe? Carlos Forneris looked for the pass instead of the shot. And McPhail remains untroubled. Picard took an early step before Lowell brought it in. 5:47 to go. The Rock Lobsters lead 6-2, but the Moccasins won't be done here for the weekend after this game. They'll come back tomorrow at 4:05 p.m. And for the first time, you can catch Rock Lobster hockey on the Peachtree Sports Network. Make sure you tune in at 4 o'clock when our show will start. Schumacher. Hard off the skate. Virgili pokes it away. Fornaris again. Another break for him. McPhail brings the pads together. McPhail has not blinked despite the hefty scoreline in favor of the Rock Lobsters. Asp brings it down with a glove. Schumacher more than happy at this point to just watch seconds drip off the clock. Milan pirouetting, finds Neely with a pass. Mack to the line. Shinkarik protecting, flipping into the corner. Neely lets it run through the trap. Milan plays it with a high stick. Our final timeout of the night comes with 4 minutes, 36 seconds remaining in this game. Feels like this result has already been decided. Is there anything left that the Rock Lobsters want to add? Maybe a Croucher hat trick. Stay tuned.
As a hockey player, my health is everything to me. When I got injured,
I didn't just worry about missing games. I worried about my future in the sport I love. From the moment I met you and your team at Piedmont Athens Regional, you gave me confidence. Your expertise, your care, your support, it all reassured me from the very start. Because of you, I've been able to recover, rebuild, and get back to playing the sport I love. Can't thank you enough for what you've done for me and my future. Your help means the world to me, and I'll always be grateful for your part in keeping my dream alive. Thanks to Dr. Graff and Piedmont Athens Regional, I get to keep playing the game I love.
Fans of all ages enjoying themselves on Military Appreciation Night. Once again, it's been an honor to honor those who have served and continue to serve our country. Mack, Milan, and Neely resuming this game with a face-off win. 4.5 minutes to go. McPhail. McPhail getting it ahead of Corey Cunningham. It's not often you see the goaltender play the head games, but I love to see it. Entertaining, especially with 4 minutes to go. This game seems like it's already been decided. If you haven't already, make sure you buy your tickets to join us tomorrow afternoon at 4:05 p.m. If not, you can watch us at YouTube, Sporfy, or the Peachtree Sports Network. Rock Lobsters signing a multi-year deal with PSN. Pleasure for us to have a new partnership with a sports staple here in the Peach State. Only 3 shots separating these two teams on the scoreboard, but 4 goals will steal the headlines. The deficit right now. Cutting pass from Michael Greco. Tipped at the blue line. Albrecht. Croucher sticks with it. Albrecht again to the right for Fornaris. Rosenbaum takes a hit from behind by Fornaris. Puck getting nailed to the corner, comes free. Around the end boards. Glukarioff gets there first. Croucher looking for the hat trick. Missed the post. Van Durken ahead for Glukarioff. As Croucher kicked back to Glukarioff. More like a soccer play. Croucher trying to bat it out of midair. Still on the search for his hat trick. If there's really one positive to take into tomorrow's game from a Moccasin perspective is that Sean Kuhn has been perfect in net since he emerged for the third period. One thing that surprised me when the lineup came out from the Rock Lobsters was that Elias Thompson was a healthy scratch. And I think looking back on it, it's a smart decision from Garrett Rutledge because he knew that the Moccasins were going to try and play their game. They were going to try and cause some penalty minutes for the Rock Lobsters. That method ended up causing them more trouble than it did Athens. Van Durken with a stellar takeaway there off the stick of Schumacher, who's had a tough night tonight. But with how this game has gone tonight, I wonder if potentially Thompson is back in the mix tomorrow. Croucher forcing Kuhn into the save. Van Durken to the far side. Kolatarsi tries to surprise Kuhn with a shot. Glove save anyway for the 28-year-old from Glen Falls, New York. Kuhn was the only Monroe goalie last year to get a win against Athens. Has FPHL experience with the River Dragons and the Mississippi Sea Wolves as well. Within the final 2 minutes of play. Goes under the stick of Picard. Cunningham. Here comes Stefanini. Virgili down to a knee. Gets it into enemy territory. Virgili back to Rosenbaum. A little spill there from Stefanini. Makes life easier for Rosenbaum. Drops for Garcia, who had that altercation with Yanni Liriakos toward the end of the second period. Final minute of play. McPhail still making great saves in his crease. The Rock Lobsters record will stay perfect at 7-0. 21 points received on the year thus far. McPhail's record will go to 4-0 as well. Rock Lobsters, after tonight, remaining the only FPHL team undefeated. Mack didn't get the pass he was looking for. Milan still got a touch to it. Greco out of his own zone, poked ahead by Mack. Neely. Good defensive play with a stick of Corson Green. Albrecht held pointless in this game, coming off of a 4-goal, 5-point performance last Saturday versus Biloxi. But the Rock Lobsters have once again reclaimed their spot as snake charmers in the FPHL. Down at 1 point in the first period, 2-0 at the 6:08 mark. They score 6 unanswered goals. It's another come-from-behind win, the second in a row for the Rock Lobsters, the third over the past 4 games. Athens remaining perfect in their record at 7-0. And they'll stay atop of the Continental Division standings. A perfect 21 for 21 when it comes to their points, a 7-game winning streak to start the year. All but one of their wins this year has come with multiple goals. That was the come-from-behind win against Petey at 4-3. A beautiful night full of honor and respect for our military. The Rock Lobsters brought the fight. They brought the goals. They brought the celebrations. A signature night here in the Classic City. As we take a look at this recap of the game, all that's left to decide are the 3 stars of the night. Kason Gallant, someone who's partying back in Athens after making his return. Gallant scoring in 3 straight games now after his performance tonight. Rock Lobsters still have work to do here in the tank this weekend before they'll travel to the Binghamton Black Bears, who are the only team that have more points than them this year. Binghamton Black Bears with a big 6-1 victory tonight against Indiana. Three stars, 3 forwards for the Rock Lobsters tonight. Here they are, the 23 design, 3 stars of the game.
Our third star of the game with the goal and assist, number 9, Kason Gallant.
Goal and an assist for the Red Deer Rocket, Kason Gallant. He has his sights potentially set on the FPHL Rookie of the Year award. Just like Kason Gallant did last year, Gallant was just edged out as it crouchers to win this season. Sometimes you wish a magician would reveal his secrets, because Milan Magic is rampant once again in the take with goal and 2 assists. He stays atop of the Rock Lobster point getters, now with 16 on the year. He goes to get interviewed. Military Appreciation Night is once again one to remember here at Akins Ford Arena. And Athens remains perfect in their start to the year, a 7-0 record for them, 21 out of 21 points earned. We'll take another quick look at scores around the FPHL. Twin City Thunderbirds got their bounce-back game and a win against the Columbus River Dragons at home, 6-3. The Watertown Wolves score of 7-4 against the Danbury Hat-Tricks has gone final. The Binghamton Black Bears are back-to-back wins against the Indiana Sentinels after losing their first game of this season last weekend. Still in a game, the Blue Ridge Bobcats against the Port Huron Prowlers. That game's tied at 3 apiece. And now also tied in the third period at 5-5 are the Baton Rouge Zydeco and the Biloxi Breakers. So if you're going to want to watch another game after this one, that's going to be a fun one to watch. Well, the Rock Lobsters bring in those who have served and continue to serve our country and treat them to a big come-from-behind 6-2 victory against their rivals in the Monroe Moccasins. But tomorrow's going to be one to watch as well, a special matinee 4:05 puck drop. Our show will start at 4 on the dot, and you can catch it either at YouTube, Sporfy, or on the Peachtree Sports Network tomorrow, our first game ever on television. We can't wait. We know you can't wait either. It's family, faith, and fun night at Akins Ford Arena as well. So make sure you get here early for the proceedings and get your tickets if you haven't already. Well, on behalf of the Akins Ford Arena and Rock Lobster staff, this is Matt Teenrat saying so long from Akins Ford Arena. The Rock Lobsters stay perfect at 7-0 despite the early 2-0 Moccasin lead. The Rock